welcome to Radical Books and Politics. It's Jesú, Estrada. Sorry, I look a little windshorn. Hey, comrades, say hello to Radical Books and Politics. Hello. Woo, everybody. So we're getting ready to take a principal stance and fight the CPS, who is not honoring their accords with the Chicago Teachers Union. They're going mass optional this coming Monday. And as a mother and as an educator, that is completely unacceptable. So we're waiting to see if the press is getting here. If not, it's just going to be us taking a principal stance. And I want it to look pretty for y'all today, but it is too cold. It is cold in Chicago today. But it's going to be even colder if kids start getting sick and more teachers end up going to the hospital or worse. So here we are. All right. Okay, that looks cute enough. Just wait a few more minutes. Hey, come say hi to Radical Books and Politics. This is the fantastic Loren from AwokeNet. You want to tell them about your website?
Yes, awokenet.com. And all y'all know what woke means. And that's why it's called AwokeNet, because it's a woke net. But basically, it's a website about social justice organizations. We got 150 of them in the database. And of course, the People's Response Network was one of the very first organizations that we had on the website.
Excellent. How long have you been running AwokeNet?
Couple of years. I mean, I kind of sort of fell into it because it's like, how you say, this is what I do, this is how I live. And so I guess I just had to figure out a way how to make a job out of it.
Yeah. So you monetize off of AwokeNet a little bit? Yeah, I can't say.
We getting there. You'd be surprised. How would I say it? Let's just say the business community is kind of shook.
Right.
Still.
Right.
Whatever it is that they tell you. Right. George Floyd, they got kind of shook.
Right.
You'd be surprised how many of them are actually asking me about AwokeNet. I'm like, are you guys sure that yes?
Right. How interesting. Well, welcome, viewer. We're glad to have somebody viewing. And so we're going to get started in just a little bit. We have some great speakers from Illinois. Raise your hand. Of course, you heard from the PRN AwokeNet. Also, we have Northside here, teachers. Northside for Justice, right? So there's quite a number of speakers today, and I'm just super excited. I believe Byron is also speaking. Byron Sigcho-Lopez is the champion of us. Ooh, it is so windy. I am shaking. What up, Lee? Lee's in the house. We miss you, Lee. Hey, Howard, do you want to say a few words to our viewers?
What would you like me to say?
Just tell them about yourself. This is Howard. He's my mentor and comrade, and he is just a phenomenal wealth of knowledge.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm here first and foremost as a grandparent. I just dropped off my 2 CPS grandkids this morning at their schools, and guess what? They're going to keep their masks on.
Woo!
And everybody else should keep their masks on.
Preach.
And they're going to fight for justice with all of us, everybody who's related to the schools. That's about 1 million people in Chicago.
That's right.
If you count up 330,000 students and their parents and their grandparents and the 60,000 teachers and staff and their families, that's 1 million people.
That's right.
So we believe in unite the many to defeat the few.
Here,
so thank you for being with us.
Thank you, viewers. And so we're just going to get started in a little bit.
Listen, if you really want to know what we're
you
up
gotta say something.
If you want to know, I don't want to say it's I want to know what we're up against.
Go ahead.
Okay. The Chicago police contingents that is guarding this side of the building, not a one of them is wearing a mask. Not one.
Gee, what a surprise.
Wow, you know what? I just noticed that.
Wow. Is that a surprise?
Hey, you know, if you're not at work, we could turn that into a drinking game. I got my mask in my pocket. Loren has his, so we should take a shot every time we see somebody not wearing a mask on the stream, but not right now, like later after 5 o'clock. You can watch it at your leisure.
Call me for that one. I think I like that game.
You want me both? Let's do this.
I like that game.
You and your members are watching this after work.
But really, on the strength, you know, how would I say it? I'm encouraged that I still see a lot of people wearing masks.
That's right.
Right? I go into the shops in my neighborhood. I'm riding the CTA. There's nobody really enforcing it, but really 95+% of the people on CTA are wearing masks.
You know,
thank you.
Yeah, we do. But that also speaks to the wokeness of people who are wearing the mask in Chicago, because let me tell you what, the same cannot be said across the country. We just got back from a road trip just this December, and people were pretending like there was no COVID, and they were sick. I bet you they were sick with Omicron. So I think, we have to depoliticize it and make it a health question instead of.
Well, we'll put it this way. Hey, we talk about this all the time. Not only do we have to depoliticize it and talk about a health question, but we also have to, I think, talk about this as a question of community.
Of course.
Okay, why are we doing all this? Why are we out here talking about
freezing
this?
our nuts off?
Right. It's because what's missing in public health is this idea of us protecting each other and trying to do something that makes it we have like a completely healthy community. So if you see me wearing this mask,
so sisters and brothers,
I'm trying to protect myself, but I'm wearing this mask to protect you.
Absolutely. Right? Even the people who refuse to wear masks. All right, I guess we're getting started, folks.
So what we're going to do is, luckily, we have our sister here, compañera Jesú, who is a tech genius, among other things.
Yes,
and we're
claim it.
So what we're going to do is, each person is going to step close to the camera
and talk it out, brothers and sisters.
Talk loudly, because we don't have a microphone, but I'm getting one for you.
Oh, thank you. My birthday just passed.
I'm getting one for you.
I accept.
And so everybody's going to step literally about this far away, okay? And just take your time and talk.
All right.
Okay, so do we want to turn the camera on so we're looking at? Oh no, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, we're going to stand behind the person.
Right.
Sounds good.
So that we're legions. We are legion.
And we have Brother Paul. Do you want to speak, Brother Paul? Okay, so you talk to Sister Lynette. And here comes Sister Kathy.
Hey,
Yay!
Kevin! The unsung hero!
We can start now.
Woo! Let's get this party started.
Powers has arrived. Yay! Yay!
So we want to thank everybody for coming. It's 28 degrees, but we're hot, right?
That's
we're hot.
right. We're hot. Blood runs red.
I'm freezing, but I love it being around.
So for those of you who just got here, Kathy and Paul, we're all going to stand behind the speakers. The speakers are going to be real close. The capitalist press has decided to boycott this event. So we're going to go ahead and get started whenever.
All the press doing the bidding of the mayor. Go ahead, sister.
Hi, my name is Lynette Sims. And I'm the moderator for today's press conference. Unfortunately, we don't have press, but we have people power, and we're out here anyways to demand opposition to face masks being removed in schools. That's ridiculous. We're exposing our children, staff, and faculty to long COVID and death. For what?
That's right.
Our future deserves better than this. We deserve better than this.
Thank you.
We demand that Mayor Lightfoot, CPS CEO Martinez, continue their legal agreement with CTU.
Louder.
To mandate face masks to everyone in schools until the end of the school year. This is a matter of life and death. We also demand that Mayor Lightfoot stop holding our legislation hostage to take the vaccine to the people.
Woo!
Right now, every day that our legislation language in the Rules Committee, every day someone dies, every day someone gets exposed to long COVID, which is preventable. Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
all right, so it looks like we got some press.
Well, okay, I tell you what, while they're setting up, I can do my little thing because it's not totally as, but kind of to set the mood of this thing. The irony, guess who came out here, y'all? The irony, local Fox TV. You know, but
I have to stream it there and upload it there.
We're gonna start. I'm gonna kind of give you guys
but I'll post it to the
Star Spangled Banner.
All right.
Okay. I was asked to sing a little. Okay, I was asked to sing a portion of the Star Spangled Banner as a way to get us into the mood. However, what I'm going to actually sing is a little portion of the third verse. Okay. How many of you know? Well, this is how I know I love my food. 95% of the people that I asked this say no, they didn't know, but 95% of the people
I've
in
read
this
it.
group.
That's right. That's right.
How many of you know that there's actually 4 verses to the Star Spangled Banner? Okay, what we normally sing at the baseball park is actually only the first verse. Okay, so to kind of get us in the mood, I'm just going to sing one little portion of the third verse. This is my favorite part. You know where the part where the song goes up? Okay, check this out. And no refuge could save the hireling or the slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. Oh, say, does that Star Spangled Banner yet wave and all the rest of that? Okay, you get where we're coming from with that. Woo! Now, why did I present that? Why did I give you that? Well, this is why we're out here. Much like, first of all, can you imagine? You're talking about critical race theory. Can you imagine what would happen if they started teaching kids all 4 verses of the Star Spangled Banner in school and a story about what that song is really about? Okay, so, much like the Star Spangled Banner is really giving the story about how the workers and the slaves were left basically on their own to face death from British gunships. Much the same way, removing this mask mandate, okay, they talk about living with COVID. That's probably one of the worst things that they could put on folks. Why? In reality, living with COVID really means relegating certain segments of our society to face greater risk of dying from COVID. Okay, so there's no living with COVID. That's what these people here are going to tell you about. Okay, what it is that what we're trying to do as a People's Response Network to reinstall and reinstill some sense of what it is that we really have to do to protect ourselves, our families, and our communities.
Thank you. So I'm going to just orient over here so our friend can also capture the video.
And as I say, the irony, who is it that comes out here to see us? The local Fox News channel.
Thank you, local Fox News.
Thank you, local Fox News.
How do you guys want to do this? Who's the speaker?
She's the moderator.
All right, you guys okay facing me?
Of course. Thank you. And what is your name?
Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you.
Ready?
Okay. Wait. Come on, everybody. Come on. Hey, listen.
Hello,
Whoa. Do not touch my gear, brother.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm on legions to support Lynette here.
All right. Whenever he's ready. Okay.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Lynette Sims, and I'm the chair of the People's Response Network, and I will be the moderator of today's press conference. We are opposed of Chicago Public Schools ending a mask mandate on March 14th, 2022. We are subjecting our future, the students, to long COVID and death. Our students, parents, faculty, and staff deserve better than this. We also demand that Mayor Lightfoot stop holding our legislation hostage in the Rules Committee. Our legislation is titled Take the Vaccine to the People, and it will do just that. Take the vaccine to the people, which will help get us out of this pandemic. Thank you. Our first speaker for today is Dr. Jesú Estrada. She is a CPS mom, and she's also the chapter chair of Chicago County, Cook County Teachers Union, Local 1600.
Thank you, Lynette. Thank you for that brilliant introduction, and thank you again, Fox News, for being principled in covering this important event. So, like Lynette said, good morning. My name is Dr. Jesú Estrada. I am a CPS mother of 2 children, ages 6 and 12, and I am outraged. I am beyond angry at CPS for making masks optional this coming Monday. Why? What's the rush? St. Patty's Day is coming up, and it will be a super spreader event. Why do we have to unmask on Monday and make it optional? This is criminal. This is racist. It is unconscionable. And I really think it's just completely foolish And don't be fooled by the statistics that infection rates are low. Don't be fooled by that. We're still in a pandemic. We still have people that are being hospitalized and dying, especially in communities of color, of Black and brown people. Why? Who is being served by unmasking and making it optional this coming Monday? Nobody wants what is happening in New York to happen here. Since New York has gone mask optional, their deaths and hospitalizations have skyrocketed. Nobody wants that to happen here. And what do you think is going to happen in the second largest school district in the country? What do you think is going to happen? That the virus is going to go away? No, of course not. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, Dr. Wadi, Governor Pritzker, on up to President Byron need to stop playing Russian roulette with our kids' lives, period. And I want to say that what happened to that legally binding agreement between our beloved teachers and CPS?
Right.
What happened? Is it that CPS has no word? That just a few weeks after they signed an agreement, they cast it aside? That is unconscionable. CPS is responsible for having our kids be safe. And this is just ridiculous. For the sake of our kids and as a mother, I am begging you, I am pleading, please continue to mask. It is the very least we can do, because this variant is no joke. It is decimating people in Denmark. It is being catastrophic in New York. Are we going to be exceptional? Of course not. Please, please, please. For the sake of our communities, our children, for your sakes, we have to keep the masks optional and more. We need vaccines in our communities. We need real contact tracing. We need there to be support in our communities of color that have been left behind in terms of vaccination, especially our children, our preschool children, our babies that cannot get vaccines. This is a call for help and human rights. We cannot allow this travesty to continue. We cannot allow our students of color to get sick, to get hospitalized. We cannot allow medically fragile people to die, period. I want to say that instead of spending money on wars, our governor, our mayor, our president should spend money on taking care of Chicagoans, on real health care, real safety, because our children, my daughter Simona, my son Antonio, our kids, we, our communities, you deserve nothing less. All right. I'm going to do it in Spanish this time.
Where's that $2 billion that we got?
Really, that's a legitimate question. What happened to the COVID money that was supposed to help our families? Buenos días, mi nombre es la doctora Jesú Estrada. Soy madre de 2 hijos en CPS. Mi niña tiene 6 años y mi niño tiene 12 años. Y quiero decirle que estoy bien indignada, bien enojada, porque CPS va a quitar la mandatoria de mascarilla este lunes. Va a ser la mascarilla opcional. Y eso es racista, es criminal. Y no deberíamos de dejar que eso pase. Pero, ¿qué es la prisa? ¿Por qué? Ahí viene el día de San Patricio. ¿Y qué creen que va a pasar? El virus se va a super spreader. I don't know how to say it in Spanish. Barrio Verde. Es cierto, les importa más tener el Río Verde que protegernos. Y es criminal. No deberían de dejar que nuestros hijos se infecten, que nuestras comunidades de color se infecten y vayan al hospital. La máscara tiene que llegar y no se dejen engañar por las estadísticas que dicen que las infecciones son bajas. Eso no es cierto. Estamos en medio de una pandemia y los africanoamericanos y latinos son los que están sufriendo. Los estudiantes que CPS atiende tienen las tasas más altas. Nuestras comunidades latinas y africanoamericanas en las estadísticas de hospitalización e infección, todavía, aún en este día. Y se van a empeorar las cosas. Nadie quiere que lo que suceda en New York suceda aquí. Nadie quiere que después de que quiten las mascarillas se infecten a nuestros hijos. Nadie quiere que la gente vaya al hospital. Tenemos el segundo más grande del distrito escolar en la nación. ¿Qué creen que va a pasar? Se van a infectar los niños, los estudiantes, los trabajadores, los padres, las abuelitas. Y eso no es aceptable. La alcaldesa Lori Lightfoot, el gobernador Pritzker, hasta el presidente, tiene que estar dejando de jugar juegos con la vida de nuestros hijos y nuestras comunidades. Ellos son responsables por nosotros y tienen que tenernos salvos y saludables. ¿Y qué pasó con este acuerdo entre CPS y la sindical? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Que no tienen palabras CPS que firman y tienen los acuerdos así como nomás? Tienen que mantener ese acuerdo. Es legal. Les pido por el bienestar de nuestros hijos como madre, por favor, mantengan las mascarillas. Y es lo mínimo. Tenemos que vacunar a nuestras comunidades, tenemos que arrestar el virus, tenemos que hacer contact tracing, que de veras es que miren cuántos hijos, cuántas familias se están infectando, porque las estadísticas no son la realidad. Y quiero decir últimamente que en lugar de gastar dinero en guerras, deberían de gastar ese dinero en nuestras comunidades para que estemos seguros y estemos a salvo. Nuestras comunidades están sufriendo y necesitamos esa ayuda. Nosotros merecemos nada menos que esto. Necesitamos que mantengan la mascarilla, que nos sigamos vacunando por la seguridad de nuestros hijos, nosotros, nuestras comunidades y por ustedes. Muchas gracias. Spanish. Oh, my name is Jesú, Jesu, accent on the U, Estrada like the actor, Estrada. Thank you, Paul.
Woo! Coming up next is a parent by the name of Dulce Garduño. Thank you. She's a CPS mom, and she's also a part of Pilsen Alliance. My name is spelled Lynette Sims, Lonette. Last name is Sims, like the video game, Sims. Thank you.
Woo! You're a little taller than I thought.
Oh, solid
You're
burn.
so very good.
I'm real funny. Yeah. Okay, so if you want to say.
Okay. Good morning. I am Dulce. My name is Dulce Garduño. Dulcegarduno. I have to come to remind you that this is the pandemic, not yet official over. That's we still the virus. It's a variant here. It has been difficult for many in recent years. Today we have a new reality, which ceased to be new several months ago. And the long-awaited old normality that many wish for is no longer and will not to be our reality. We are forced to live adaptive process of survival. We were become part of our daily lives. All this generated in this pandemic has been damage to our mental health and the way in which we relate to others. This is what we have to overcome as a family to start to thrive again now and the years to come. I'm here to invite all parents to be part of their children's education in the city that has the most inclusive and democratic educational system. Here, you don't need to be a citizen or resident. All you need is to have passion and love for the next generations. We have been telling our children that wearing the mask make them and those around them safe. And now CPS is telling them that they no longer need that safety, even though less than come to invite all parents to join together. Because we have to ensure that our children and families are safe. For that, we demand today, make the mask maintained until all students are vaccinated. Bring the vaccines to every school. My unconditional support to all of the people of all communities who are working from their trench for their protection to all. Mr. Martinez, we know that you have had much successes in managing other school systems. However, your actions to end the mask mandate at this time tell us that you are not in touch with the concern of Chicago families. Please listen to us, the parents of your students, and do right thing. Watch these elections for LSC. It's time to change and clean the house. Thank you.
Woo!
Buenos días, mi nombre es Dulce Garduño y estoy aquí para recordarles que esta pandemia aún no termina, que todavía tenemos el virus y una variante o las que siguen. Ha sido muy difícil en los últimos años. Hoy tenemos una nueva realidad que dejó de ser nueva hace varios meses. Nos vimos obligados a vivir en un proceso adaptativo de supervivencia. Nos vimos obligados a aprender y a vivir con lo mínimo indispensable. Como parte de este proceso, el miedo, la angustia y la desesperación pasaron a ser parte de nuestro día a día. Todo esto ha generado una pandemia que ha sido perjudicial para nuestra salud mental y la forma en que nos relacionamos con todos. Esto es todo lo que tenemos para superarnos y seguir creciendo en familia, prosperar nuevamente y ahora en los años venideros. Estoy aquí para invitar a todos los padres a ser parte de la educación de sus hijos en esta ciudad. Ser parte del sistema educativo más inclusivo y democrático. Aquí no necesita ser ciudadano o residente. Todo lo que necesita es tener pasión y amor por las nuevas generaciones. Les hemos estado diciendo a nuestros hijos que usar la máscara los hace más seguros a ellos y a los que los rodean. Y ahora CPS les pide que ya no necesitan esa seguridad, aunque menos de la mitad de los estudiantes no están vacunados. CPS nos enseñó que ningún niño se quede atrás. Y hoy vengo a invitar a todos los padres a unirse porque queremos asegurarnos que nuestros hijos y nuestra familia estén seguros y no se quedarán atrás. Por lo mismo, estoy exigiendo mantener el mandato de la máscara hasta que todos los estudiantes estén vacunados. Traer las vacunas a los colegios. Mi apoyo incondicional a todas las gentes de las comunidades que desde su trinchera están trabajando para proteger a todos. Señor Martínez, sabemos que ha tenido mucho éxito en todas sus gestiones anteriores. Sin embargo, sus acciones y poner el fin al mandato de la mascarilla en este momento nos dice que realmente no está en contacto con las personas que están preocupadas por esto. Las familias de Chicago. Escucha a los padres, escucha a los alumnos y haga lo correcto. Este es un mensaje directo para usted. Mire sus elecciones de LSI. Mire cuántos padres están ahí. Y después de eso, siéntese con nosotros y venga, haga un cambio. Y por favor, venga y limpie la casa. Gracias.
Our next speaker will be Martha Herrera. She is a retired CPS CTU teacher, and she's the Pilsen Alliance president. Martha Herrera. Thank you.
All right, Martha.
Hello, everybody. Buenos días.
Give me your name and spelling, please.
Marta Herrera. M-A-R-T-H-A. Herrera. H-E-R-R-E-R-A. Buenos días. Mi nombre es Marta Herrera. Soy maestra jubilada de CPS y presidenta de Pilsen Alliance. Estoy aquí para decirles al gobernador, a la alcaldesa y al director ejecutivo Pedro Martínez de CPS que por favor levante el mandato de las máscaras, que no
You're doing great.
que no levante el mandato de las mascarillas. Están fallando a nuestros niños en edad escolar y los que están poniendo entornos. Seguimos escuchando que nuestros niños están más seguros en la casa, que están menos seguros en casa y no en la escuela. Yo tengo, de mis 5 nietos, 4 de ellos contagiaron COVID en la escuela. Luego se los pasó a sus padres. Nuestro no es el único. Esto tristemente me está enojando porque nuestros niños de CPS estarán inseguros y no protegidos. Muy común ver a los niños toser, estornudar sin taparse la boca. Eso es algo muy común en niños de preschool y kindergarten y más adelante. Los maestros también están expuestos a estos, al COVID. Por eso es que necesitamos todos usar las máscaras y más cuando están adentro de las escuelas. Esto me hace recordar a una amiga, mi mejor amiga, Olga Quiroga, que murió a causa de el COVID y era maestra en la escuela donde yo trabajaba. Que en paz descanse mi amiga. Alumnos y maestros, padres de familia, estamos para apoyarlos en todo lo que sea posible. Hagamos ruido y no permitamos que el gobernador Pritzker, Lori Lightfoot, el ejecutivo de las escuelas públicas, Pedro Martínez, no dejemos que ellos dicten la seguridad y la vida de nuestros hijos. No olvidemos los fondos de ayuda de COVID. ¿Dónde están? Se suponía que nos servirían durante la pandemia. Te digo unas cosas al gobernador Pritzker, a la alcaldesa Lori Lightfoot y al ejecutivo de las escuelas públicas. Es una vergüenza. Hay que mantener el mandato, las mascarillas, hasta que todos los estudiantes sean vacunados. Lleva la vacuna a cada escuela. Es una vergüenza que cuando hay organizaciones como, es una vergüenza de que aquí presentes están varias organizaciones como de la Villita, el People Response Network y la Alianza de Pilsen, tengamos que hacer su trabajo y nosotros lo que estamos haciendo es llevar las vacunas a las comunidades. Cuando sea el tiempo de las elecciones, voy a ignorar la casilla que viene al lado de su nombre y no votar por usted. Good morning, everybody. My name is Marta Herrera, a retired CPS teacher and president of the Pilsen Alliance. I am here today to tell Governor Pritzker, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, and CPS Pedro Martinez that by lifting the mask mandate, they are failing our school children and putting them in unsafe environments. We keep hearing that our children are safer at home, that are safer at school than at home. I strongly disagree. As a grandmother of 5, 4 of my grandchildren attend different schools and caught COVID in school, then passed it on to their parents. Ours is not the only case. I am saddened and angry that CPS children will not be safe at school. As a kindergarten teacher, I can tell you that it is very common for children to cough in your face, to sneeze in your face, and other things that I will not mention. I feel the teachers that have no choice but to wear a mask. This is what a responsible teacher does.
Here, here.
My best friend, Olga Quiroga, was also a CPS teacher. She lost her life to COVID. May you rest in peace, my dear friend.
Rest in peace.
Students and parents, we are here to support you in every way possible. Let's make noise. Do not allow Governor Pritzker, Lori Lightfoot, and CEO Martinez dictate the safety of our children.
Here.
Let's not forget the COVID relief funds. We're supposed to service our children, our families, our community. You are basically telling us that we're on our own and we have to fend for ourselves and not count on you. You get paid to give public service. Where's the money?
That's right.
Where's the money?
Where's the money? Just talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where's the money?
Where's the money?
The next speaker is a CPS parent, Miguel Bautista.
All right, Miguel.
Take off your mask, brother.
Thank you all. My name is Miguel Bautista, Miguel. Bautista, Bautista.
Hang on a second. I can't hear you. Get a little closer.
You gotta get louder too, son.
My name is Miguel Bautista, Miguel. Bautista. I'm a parent of 2 CPS kids, and I fear for my kids' health. I fear for all of our kids' health. I fear for my community, especially those of us that are marginalized, those of us that are not vaccinated, those of us that are getting the huge impact of this virus. We still have this pandemic in our community. And I have no trust in CPS, nor CEO Martinez, nor Lori Lightfoot. They continue to make decisions without involving us parents, without involving our community, especially those that have been hugely impacted by this virus. And they have yet to invest any resource to address this issue. They have yet to minimize the class sizes in our school, where we currently have 30 plus kids in one classroom. They have yet to bring teaching assistants to assist with their education. So I want to ask one question for everyone. As we pretend to move forward, who are we leaving behind?
Here, here.
Woo! Thank you.
Woo!
Hey.
Thank you, Miguel.
Our next speaker is a parent. Her name is Chinella Miller. She is a local student council member of Walter H. Diet High School. She's also a member of COCO and a CPS parent.
Woo!
I appreciate that. My name is Chinella Miller, C-H-I-N like November, E-L-L-A, last name Miller like Miller Lite.
You know you're not light, don't you?
And so I'm here today because we're being lied to and we're being disrespected, and I'm just really tired of it. CPS is violating a legal signed document.
Here, here.
They said that they would make sure, they would mandate that the students would continue to wear their masks into the end of this school year. It's disgusting that you would just go change your mind and not even have a discussion with us. Lori continues to say that she loves to have parent input, and I'm telling you, she's not speaking to all the parents. She not in the hood. I'm from the hood. She hasn't come to the hood and asked us what we need.
That's right.
Our schools are already, they were already horrible before COVID. They were already unsafe before COVID. So now that we're in this and we're trying to keep them safe, and our schools do not have the things that they need, although CPS has the money, why are you taking away the masks? They don't have any. I'm sorry.
No, preach it. Speak truth to power. Speak that truth.
Okay, so our schools do not have any PPE. They don't have any
Hand sanitizer.
Thank you, hand sanitizer. Sometimes they don't even have toilet tissue. So these schools they don't have good running water. They don't have good bathrooms. So the masks are definitely needed. They're already dirty. We don't want our kids in those schools in the first place. The money that CPS has should be sent to our schools. But we know where that money is sent. It's sent over there on the north side to the affluent neighborhoods. All our students deserve the same. They deserve equal. Those parents are okay with their kids going to school because they have what they need. Their schools are safe. Their schools are brand new. Some have been built up from the ground up a few years ago, while our buildings have been standing for 20, 30, 40 years. They have what they need. We're saying that we need a seat at the table so that we can discuss and tell you what we need, what we want you to do for our children.
That's right.
Because we know what's best.
Woo!
All right.
The last thing that I really want to say is I really want to say that I shouldn't even be here right now. That's how important this is. I am on my lunch break right now. That's how important this is. These are hate crimes.
Here, sister.
We
Preach
need
it.
to call it what it is. These are hate crimes. They are trying to kill our children. CPS is not giving us accurate data.
Here.
And I'm telling you that because I know firsthand. I have yet to receive an email from my son's school stating that someone in the school had COVID. And I know that I should be receiving the email because he's the one that had COVID. He's fine, but why weren't the parents alerted? It's amazing to me how they keep saying that they have parent input. They're sending out surveys. I am a mother of 6 CPS students. I should get these surveys. Why am I not getting them? Because my voice does not matter. You say it doesn't. I'm saying it does. That's why we're here right now. We have a voice, and we're telling you we're not taking this anymore. We know y'all got the money, and we're telling y'all we're going to be at the table and tell y'all where it needs to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Chinella.
Preach.
Thank you so much, Chinella. Our next speaker is Kathy Powers.
Woo! Kathy!
Good morning.
Good morning. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm all for masking, obviously. I'm 71 years old, and I'm at risk to get COVID and anything else that's in the air. Good morning, my fellow Chicagoans. Our alleged potty mouth mayor doesn't want us here today. She's called off the press, except for Fox. Thank you, Fox.
Thank you,
being
Fox.
here. We were met this morning with an entourage of police trying to discourage us from being here. That says a lot. That says a lot to me. That says a lot that she doesn't want the parents. She doesn't want the students. She doesn't want anybody speaking against her while we're here to speak against her. I want to know. We have a lot of entertainment here in Chicago. Oh, yes, we do. We have alders under indictment.
we have that alleged potty mouth thing going on, and we have no public health system worth mentioning. And this is all by design, all by design. I want to know, my fellow Chicagoans, are you entertained? Are you entertained? This is life and death. This is not a coliseum. The mayor is throwing us in the coliseum for the lions to eat us, for COVID to eat us. Are you entertained? I'm not entertained. I'm not entertained at all. I'm disgusted. The Alliance for Community Services stands in solidarity with the Chicago Teachers Union in opposing the unmasking of public schools. Thank you.
Woo!
Yeah.
Our next speaker is Alderman Brian Sigcho-Lopez for the 25th Ward.
All right, Byron! Woo! Byron for President of the United States!
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you to all the community groups, all the parents and students, all the community who's here demanding justice, equity, and common sense in the policies of the Chicago Public Schools. In particular, I think we have heard a lot from the parents nuestras escuelas. Tenemos porcentajes tan bajos como el 10% de vacunación en por lo menos 50 escuelas del distrito. La mitad de los estudiantes de CPS, que son latinos o negros, no han sido vacunados, la mitad. Es decir, que tenemos una situación gravísima y preocupante en los barrios más pobres y vulnerables de la ciudad. Necesitamos que CPS y la alcaldesa tome seriamente la ordenanza que pusimos desde hace ya un año para traer la vacunación a nuestras escuelas. Vacunar a nuestras niñas y niños es prioridad. Tenemos también niños menores de 5 años que todavía no califican a la vacuna y tenemos que responder también para estas familias. Es urgente y necesario que CPS tenga un plan y soluciones. Flexibilizar la situación de las máscaras va a crear más contagios y más muertes en nuestra comunidad. No podemos permitir que un candidato a fiscal general republicano imponga su pensamiento al riesgo de la mayoría del distrito. En nuestra situación actual, demandamos soluciones y un plan urgente. Muchas gracias.
Yes, thank you, Alderman Brian Sigcho-Lopez. Our next speaker is Westrate. She is a CPS grandmother, and she's also a member of Northside Action for Justice.
All right, B! Woo!
Good morning. My first name is spelled B-E-A. My last name is spelled W-E-S-T-R-A-T-E. I have a 13-year-old grandson in CPS. He's asthmatic. He's fully vaccinated and boosted, as are his mother and his stepfather. His 4-year-old sister is not because they don't have a vaccine for her yet. All of them wear masks outside their homes. CPS and the city are not doing enough to protect our teachers, staff, and students. Everyone knows that the students, teachers, and kids are exposed to whatever people bring to at school, and they'll take it home to their families. And their families are exposed to it. That's been happening at least as long as I've been alive, and I will be 70 years old next month.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Some students have vulnerable family members, children who are not old enough for a vaccine, grandparents like me, and immunocompromised relatives. The Illinois Department of Public Health says that of all the COVID exposure locations, almost half of them, the exposures happen at school. I will repeat that. Illinois Department of Public Health says that of all the COVID exposure locations, almost half of the exposures happen at school. Data suggests that 10% of the children who get COVID are long haulers. Make no mistake, they are, and it's in the news. Why risk having them get sick? According to the CDC, 98.4% of all U.S. counties, including all of the counties in Illinois, are still red, the highest level of community transmission. The CDC recommends that we all still wear masks. So why does the city and CPS insist on making things more dangerous for us?
That's right.
Masks are proven to reduce the prevalence of COVID. They've commented how there is less flu and fewer colds because we're wearing masks. And COVID rates go down when we wear them. A study sponsored by the CDC and Arkansas Department of Health found, and I quote, schools that required masks had 23% fewer COVID-19 cases on average than those that did not, end quote. A CDC spokesperson said that this was consistent with other past data during the Delta wave. Omicron has appeared since, and it's a lot more infectious than Delta was. The mask mandate at Chicago schools are because of the Chicago Teachers Union. CTU had to force CPS to include the mask mandate in a written agreement, only to be vilified for doing the right thing. CPS is now trying to ignore their written agreement with CPU because CPS does not care.
Right.
CPS and Lightfoot refuse to allow for remote learning. That's crazy. CPS and the mayor are autocratic. They expect to give their orders and everybody has to obey them. That's crazy. The city and CPS have $2.6 billion. That's $2.6 billion with a B available for providing masks, contact tracing, paying for school nurses, using schools as vaccination sites, and more. What are they doing with that money? What are they doing with it? CPS and the city need to be honest for a change.
Here, here.
They need to treat us respectfully. Thank you.
Woo!
Our last speaker for today is Dr. Howard Ehrman. Dr. Howard Ehrman is a former Chicago Assistant Health Commissioner and UIC Associate Professor.
Hooray, Howard!
Thank you very much, Lynette. My name is Dr. Howard Ehrman, HOWARD-EHRMAN. So here's a question for everybody. How many people here know somebody in the Chicago Public Schools? A student?
Yeah, right here.
A staff member?
Yeah, everybody.
2 hours ago, I took my 2 grandchildren to their CPS schools in Pilsen and McKinley Park. They don't need a public health degree to know what's going on. In each of their classrooms, there have been several students who've gotten COVID, some of whom now either have multi-system inflammatory syndrome, which you don't hear much on the news. And the reason you don't hear much on the news is because 2 out of 3 victims out of the 7,000 reported are Black, Brown, and Native American. That's why you don't hear it much on the news. That's in their classrooms. They don't need a public health degree to know that they're going to keep their masks on starting Monday. And they're going to encourage all their fellow students to keep their mask on. We also have a 4-year-old granddaughter in Wisconsin we're going to go see tonight who got COVID last month. Where did she get COVID? In her school. Why did she get COVID? Because not even the teacher had a mask on.
Whoa.
She was the only student in the school who had a mask on. So what does this all mean? What it means is this is a crime against humanity. This is a genocidal decision.
That's right.
By the mayor of the city of Chicago, by Pedro Martinez, the so-called CEO, by the governor of Illinois, Pritzker, and by the president of the United States,
Here.
and the CDC director, who said the pandemic is over.
Boo!
Yesterday, 1,700 of our brothers and sisters passed away from COVID in the United States. There were over 45,000 infections at a time where almost nobody's getting tested. What if everybody who was most vulnerable got tested? There would have been hundreds of thousands of infections. So we're letting the mayor know, and we're letting Martinez know, we're coming after you starting next week.
Here.
We're going to go to as many schools as possible to talk to all the parents and the students when they're going to school and they're coming home. We're going to have a flyer, and we're going to be organizing, not just to keep masks on, but to get this ordinance passed that basically says very simply, do what Los Angeles has done.
Here.
Put the vaccines in every school. Don't make the parents leave their job and maybe lose their job to go take their kids to CVS and Walgreens. That's unacceptable.
That's right.
En español, mi nombre es Dr. Howard Ehrman. Fui el ex comisionado asistente del Departamento de Salud aquí en Chicago. Y tengo 2 nietos aquí en las escuelas públicas de Chicago. Ellos no van a quitar sus máscaras empezando el lunes. Ellos conocen varios alumnos en sus propios salones que ya ha tenido COVID y algunos tienen long COVID. Eso es un crimen en contra de la humanidad. Es genocidio que está haciendo el presidente, el gobernador Pritzker, la alcaldesa Lightfoot y el jefe de las escuelas Martínez. Nosotros, los padres y aliados, de los sindicatos de maestros, vamos a organizar ya. Vamos a ir a las escuelas públicas empezando lunes esta semana que viene para hablar con los padres, para no quitar las máscaras y para demandar justicia. Muchas gracias.
Woo! Paul, do you have any questions for us? Thank you. All right, Paul.
But I just want to say, we want to hear from other people. We are the People's Response Network is gonna together develop a leaflet before Monday, a flyer. We'd love to have everybody's input. We want everybody, particularly when it gets warmer, to literally go to the school closest to where you live and/or the school where your children or grandchildren go, to really take this group of 25 people and make it 2,500 the next time we come here.
That's right. That's right.
So we are not going to sit back. We are not going to stand for this. As Jesus started talking to the last person, this is going to hurt our kids. And the one thing we forgot to talk about, who's at the most risk right now when the masks come off?
We
Monday?
are. Those
People
black
that
and
look
brown.
like
All the
those
families.
people that look like us.
But there's a group of people you don't hear about in the news. You know who that is? Those are the African American teachers and staff inside CPS whose average age is 10 years greater than the Latino and the white teachers. And they have many more underlying health conditions because of racism. We have to reach out to them. We have to reach out to every other teacher and staff member, and most importantly to the parents, starting next week.
Here, here.
And we really have to try to convince people that what we need to really have effective public health in Chicago.
Thank you. See you, allies.
Literally what we need is a little more love. We got to show each other a little more love. And that's what we in Hayes were talking about. I'm wearing this mask. I'm wearing this mask to protect you.
That's right.
Okay, because I love you and I love all of my neighbors here in Chicago.
Here,
and I
here.
want us
We love
all to be
Chicago.
safe.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching Radical Books and Politics. If you like the stream, please like and subscribe. Thank you, viewers. We appreciate your support. Spread the word because we need to educate parents and students on why they need to continue wearing the mask. Have an awesome day.